Yes, yes, yes. I'm started like that the whole time. Commanding freedom, peace, and clarity. That's it. Guys, welcome into the Safe Space Saylee Show. Oh man. This is the first show in May. I'm very excited. I might have to turn this camera around or move this laptop. I'm gonna have to do that. Got some tranquil sounds in the background. But I really appreciate, everyone on this and seeing it now or seeing it later. Cause you guys know I try to upload some quick clips, whether it's to Instagram, Facebook. You see the full show on YouTube. So I know everyone may want to watch it. You'll see it on YouTube when I upload it on that end. So we're gonna start like this: the Safe Space Saylee Show, the Safe Space Saylee Show, the Safe Space Saylee Show. Freedom, warmth, and clarity. There it is, right there, and this is how we start. And I got you guys in for a treat. You know how individuals say y'all in for a treat today. It's only because I'm having my first guest, and I hope it shows up. I'm having my first guest to come in today. My boy P. He said he was running a little bit behind, but it's all right. He said he was gonna come in, and everything is good. On that part, I gotta make sure that I check him out. So I don't miss out on him on that end. I want to make sure that I get him in on that part. What's going on? What's happening? You already know it, but yes. So a lot of things we're gonna be discussing today. One of the most important things, guys, you see even on my regular page, on my main page, if you see on the profile, it's expressing self-love. And with this guest that'll be coming up, he's the not only very, adamant about, self-love, but it took time as well to gain this. Just like me as well too. I didn't just come out the womb with this. You got to go through certain trials, tribulations. You got to go through certain difficulties to build that up. Now I want to make sure that I don't miss them, on that end. I want to make sure I don't miss them on that end. I hope everyone is doing well on that part. But yes, so I got a few. So this is how it's gonna go. So I got a few questions for him, and this is my boy in real life. So the thing is, I want to keep it structured, but I also want it to be free as well too. I want some things for us to discuss some things, but I don't want to get too comfortable. But I need individuals to understand, like, hey man, this is going on. But I want individuals to realize that as well. I think he just joined. Hold on, as a guest. What's going on, my boy P? Hold on, let me get him in. The invitation has been sent. What's going on? What's going on? Tapping in, tapping in. We got the intro started already. My boy, you there?
Yo, what's good, my boy? This is Saylee.
I told you, I knew it was gonna happen, man. You're breaking some records right now, man. I want to just let you know that you're actually laying down a lot of things for really the next generation and even for us right now, man. But how you doing for today, man? What's going on?
Firstly, I want to thank you for allowing me to be your first guest. Man, I am so hyped. I was thinking with the new generation's Dr. Phil.
That's real. That's real. I appreciate that. I appreciate
And I want to say this for everybody who thinks about coming on. This
that.
is what it is. It's a safe place. Don't be afraid to be yourself. I really want everyone and anyone to know that
Man,
you can be yourself.
man, P, that's powerful, really, right there. Whether it's children, to adults, you're really paving the way, even just with that statement right there. Because I upload, these on YouTube as well too. Facebook, I maybe chop some clips up, put them on Instagram or different things like that. So just right there, you gotta imagine if somebody 10 years down the line looking at this video, like, dang, hold on, I can actually find a certain space, or I can be real with myself on that part. Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, this is what people need. They need a space where they can be themselves, to not be afraid to be judged. Because we're no one to judge you, firstly. No one is anyone to judge you. Don't be afraid to be yourself in public, is what I want everyone to hear. To know more than anything. Learn it. Nobody can judge you. If anyone tries to judge you, don't worry about it, because if God doesn't judge you, who are we to judge you?
Man, peace. See, man, it is not only warming up my heart, man, but making me feel real deeply because the word that you're saying now, you know that it's gonna go across the planet, man. It's my goal to make these things, what you're saying, going across the planet. So imagine the people you're gonna be touching.
Like, it's like I previously told you.
Right,
Like, if I get to 1,000 or 1,000,000 people, that's cool. But
right.
if I manage to change one person, I'm cool. I'm more than happy.
Wow, man, P. You know that's interesting, man. Very, very interesting, and I like that, T. I like that right there. Just getting the one. You know, I got some questions ready for you. You know, on that part. You know, I did the intro for the show. I know you ready for the questions, and I told you we talked previously about this. You didn't want me to hold back, so you.
What do I always tell you? What do I always tell you, D? I don't want you to hold back. That's what we're here for. To get
Right.
real.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And you know I got a bonus question too. The bonus one, I'm gonna save that for them. I'm not gonna start with it, but I got a bonus one too. But now let's look at this now. I also want to say this too. I gotta bring this in, P, and you knew it. We made jokes about it before, but also happy Cinco de Mayo, man. P, let people understand what's going on. You Mexican, P. What's up?
Yo, we gotta tell this man that just because I'm Mexican, he doesn't have to invite me on Cinco de Mayo. But all jokes aside, it's like I'm just happy to be here. I
Yeah,
know he doesn't mean it in that kind of sense, and people can get touchy and like feely about it, but don't be. If I don't take it in the bad sense, why should you?
right. P. That's beautiful, man. A lot of history, on it as well too, and a lot of things. You know how the world is going really right now, so we got to be appreciative of our own culture and different things like that. But Pete, the first question, man, I got it for you. So the first question is, Pete, why do you love you? Not now, I gotta come heavy, Pete.
Yo, D, Mr. Saylee, like D, you know I gotta say it. I love myself because we have the same disease. We
Uh,
have been through a lot.
right.
We have been through a lot.
Come on, Pete.
Like, and I'm speaking on my behalf. I can't speak for you like I've told you previously. I
Right.
look myself in the mirror and I say, I love you. You have been through so much.
Mm.
You have been through so much. And look at you, you're still standing like a warrior. You're still standing like a warrior.
Mm.
Anyone can think, look at him, he's so weak.
Look at that.
I'm stronger than you.
Mm.
And like, in that sense, whoever thinks I'm weak,
Come on.
I'm stronger than you because I have endured so many things.
Right.
And what you think about me is not gonna change how I feel about myself.
And you're helping the world even with what you just said. I'm appreciative of you sharing that, Pete. Not only you're helping the world with this, because this is not. I understand we're live really right now, but imagine individuals hearing this at a later time too. They're like, "Dang, I didn't really understand or love me until I even heard P speaking a guest on the Safe Space Show. I didn't do it until you said something. Imagine that."
Uh, I, I just want to say to anyone,
Yeah.
If you don't love yourself, you deserve it. You deserve it. We all deserve to be loved. If God loves us besides who we are, who are we not to love ourselves?
Right there, Pete. Very, very powerful right there. You know, and I want to ask this too because people, with that, we can have the whole show just right there because really, right there, that's it. But I gotta ask you a little bit more. What sparked your reasoning to even love what you are, even though we're dealing with this MS and multiple sclerosis on that end? What shifted you to like, hey man, I know I'm dealing with this, but I still got to make sure that I'm loving you. What triggered you? Was there any situation that sparked it? What kind of happened on that part?
I'm gonna be 100% honest. You know how I am, D. You know
Mm.
how I am. 100% honest. That's how I am. Honestly, you taught me. You taught me the self love. I'm not gonna lie. You taught me.
Hey, man, that's real, man. Come on, man. Don't just be saying that for the show, man.
No,
Come
no,
on.
I'm not. I'm not. You know, and I've always told you. Firstly, I thank God. Then I thank you for the self love.
Right, right, right.
And I always give you your credit.
Nah, Pete,
You
you
gotta
know,
get people gotta learn. You gotta give credit when right credit is due.
nah, Pete. You're talking some real stuff, man. Pete. That's a real situation to change the world as well. I wanna ask this, Pete. Let's go a little bit further. Now, before us meeting, I also want to speak about how we met as well too, because that was very powerful as well too. But what was one of the things? Let's say before even loving self, what was going on? I'm not gonna say you hated self, but how was your world even at around the that center? I know you understand what I'm saying.
To be honest, I it's not that I hated myself, but I generally didn't care about myself, if that makes any sense. It was more like, whatever, just another day.
Mm, mm,
And I started going to the group, like, all
mm,
right, fine, I'm gonna go. It's like, it's cool,
right. No, Pete, that's very, very interesting because I need individuals to know this too. Whether, regardless of your age, what you're dealing with, it can take one moment to change the rest, of your life on that end too, Pete. And I want to let's go a little bit into even even how we met as well too. I like when you explain it. I do like when you explain it. Even how we met on that situation because you had the outside view, and seeing different things. Like it was our first time seeing each other with the group on that part. But how did that even spark off as well too? Do you mind sharing it on the show?
What? Wow, how we met?
Right, P.
Like
Right,
I've always told you,
right,
like I thank God for us meeting, but
right,
I'm never gonna think how we met.
right,
I'm never gonna be glad about how we met because I never appreciate someone else experiencing pain, even
right,
though it's for my good.
right,
I'm
right.
never gonna be glad. And like, so do you mind me, or would you rather?
No, 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 P. I want you to. I like when you do it because you had a view. I came into the group. Remember, I've been with that group since 2019. So you were seeing me for the first time, and then we seen the reactions with it happened. I'm not. I want to be transparent with that. So when you seen what was going on, because there was a lot of things at play. But when you actually sing, because I did fall on that end, but I would want you to just kind of go into that experience. What kind of happened for you when you did see me, fall, and then that ended up happening like that.
Yeah, it's I saw you come inside and
It's
you went to
7:15.
the chair, the two next to me. And when you moved the chair and you fell, my
Right,
first instinct, my very first instinct is to help somebody. That's
mm,
my first instinct. That's how I was raised,
right.
to help people.
Look at that.
And like you know how I struggle to move and all.
Right,
I
right.
don't care. I moved my walker
Yeah.
and I went to help you. You didn't need it, but I was there.
Hey, right, man. Man, and I'll be real with you, P, and I share with you, and I always share with you, even with yesterday too. That really strengthened the bond that we have at this moment here. Because I told you, even with the class full that we were in, even though Julio did get up, the leader, one of the co-leaders of the group, but everybody was like they stood still. But you just kind of, it's almost like you sprung into action. Even though if I would have said, "Hey man, I didn't need it," but it's almost like you sprung into action without even knowing me on that end.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's the way I was raised. And the way I was raised is like if someone needs your help, help 'em. Don't laugh, like don't make it worse, just help. Help.
Right, right, right.
Oh, and you need my help, and you know I was there to help you, even though I know you didn't need it, but I was there.
You're right. That's a real situation, P, and that's something that I will always be in appreciation for, and I see our friendship only strengthening, not only since that spark, but just moving on forward. I want to move forward with the next question, P. Now, because we're dealing with the self love as well too. Now, after you learning that, because you know how I always tell you too, it's something that it's not. Oh yeah, one moment it might have started it, but it has to keep increasing in strength. So when you, and this is another question you asked me too. This is not even the bonus, but it's like, do you feel you have a purpose? And if so, what may that be?
um, Purpose. I need to find it. You know me. I'm 100% honest with you.
What's going on, man?
I don't like to lie.
Uh-huh.
Like my nephew at his party would told his friend. I think I already told you. My
Right.
uncle doesn't really lie. He reads the Bible. He doesn't really lie. I was like, I was thinking like, Shavi, you don't have to tell him the Bible thing, but it doesn't shame me.
Right, right,
But like all I know is I was like, you don't have to say it.
right, 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 right. So with
But
that, let's just dive a little bit deeper into that. Now, was there something? Let's say even in high school and grade school and that, in growing up, was there somebody that inspired you? Something that you always wanted to do that made you feel good?
uh, I was always an introvert as a child. As a child, I was always an introvert, including in my adolescent. Like when I was an adolescent, a teenager. Dang. I was always an introvert. It wasn't until I made my one friend. And like my one friend's brother, well, I had a few friends. I don't think I only had a one friend. I had a few.
Right, right,
Nah, but when I met his brother, he brought me out of my shell, and I am the way I am now. But I was like, but you are the one that taught me self love. But and the confidence, it's growing. It's growing. My confidence is growing. It can only go up. Like people need to know,
come on, please speak
if
on it.
you're on the ground, you can only go up.
That's it.
You can only go up. And believe me, if you need anyone, my boy D is gonna be there. And if he's not gonna be able to help you, don't even trip. I'll do my best.
Hey, so I'm appreciating you, man, on 1,000%. But I wanna let's go a little bit further too on that end. Now, when we're talking about, I'm reviewing our questions. I don't want to do with our bones here. We still got a few, some more time on that end. But I want to ask, what is your ideal way to live? I'm just saying, even with us dealing with the condition, with the MS, what's the ideal way? Like, okay, I'm dealing with this. What is the way I actually want to live? How do I want to show up in life?
To be honest, Firstly, I wanna keep be able to keep reading my Bible. Firstly, firstly.
Alright.
Secondly, I wanna be me. I wanna be able to be myself. And who's that? A person who's always smiling at life, regardless of the hardships I'm going through.
Mm. Mm.
Because you always have a reason to smile. You always have a reason to smile. You just either don't want to look for it or don't want to see it.
Right, right, right. And you dropped some really heavy things really right there. Seriously. I want to even ask this too, you know, because when you get to a point, you're like, all right, man, I want to do some things more. I want to speak up more. What's your ideas of just speaking up? Let's say before the self love and now with it. Were you someone always to kind of speak up with what you wanted, or did you hang back and play cool, quiet on that part?
Um, it not like the way you're saying it, like hang back. It's
Uh,
just that like that's where my introvert hits, and I
mm,
just stay quiet. Like I've always been an introvert, and I just stay quiet. It's not that I don't have anything to say.
all right,
Sometimes I just stay quiet out of respect for the other person's opinion.
right, right,
You
right.
know, as sometimes it's out of respect for the other people who are there, because I don't want them to have to hear some sort of discussion and all of that. I like they don't need to hear it. Some things are better like to do in your own home, like other people don't gotta see your dirty laundry.
Hey man, I'm in agreement with that. P. I'm really in agreement with that. A lot of times, hey, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. You know, in that part. There's a few more things here I want to ask you. And I was just appreciate you being in, but I really want to ask you because I really care about this certain situation. Is like, when it comes to choosing you, that self love, it is very important, but choosing you in a situation. We talked about relationships when that part. I think I will have a whole month when I'm dealing with. I want to deal with the relationships, and I would love to have you back up on the show when we're getting real deep on that part. But when it looks at you choosing you versus if no one else even chooses you on that end, how does that look for you? And building upon that.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Back then, it used to affect me. If no one chose me, dang, it would have hit me hard. But now I think, whatever. You're lost. It's cool.
Hey,
It's like it's fine. Whatever. Like,
right.
to be honest, I'm like, as long as I got my phone, I got someone to talk to, or or my nephews want to come chill with me, I'm more than fine.
Right.
I honestly don't need anyone to give me any sort of validation. I
Mm.
I
Man,
don't need anyone to give me validation.
ooh, P, you just dropped a mountain on the show, man. I'll be real with you. You just dropped a whole mountain on the show.
You're welcome.
Because this is something we're not taught in school, man. I'll be real with you.
No,
And I
and
hope you
I
speaking
know,
up on it.
I know, I know, and like validation. When you see any other person's validation,
Mm.
no, look, like if you're okay with God and if you're okay with yourself, it doesn't matter. It
Right,
doesn't matter.
right. Now, P.
It doesn't matter.
Right, 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 right. Now,
If
P.
anybody else doesn't accept me, it's fine. I accept myself.
Mm. And P, I kind of you really setting me up looking at for the show because as I look into what I want to do and how I want this to expand, how you would see sometimes you were talking about the Dr. Phil, you see certain ones, the Ricky Lake, she has several guests or certain things like that. You got to know, P, I do this, this is for work as well too. I do it, as my job. But the thing is, I want to give individuals not only the safe space, really to learn more about themselves. I want you to even to be able to realize, like, dang, what have I not understood about myself that I can grow on that part too. So that leads me into the next question. Then we're gonna jump into the bonus, then get you up out of here, Pete. But the thing is, when you think about, man, I want really more, for myself, even with dealing with them that we have. But it's just like, is there any much more that you want?
Um, if I want, of course I want more. Like, I'm not gonna lie, of course I want more. But that's where the next part of my answer comes in.
Mm,
I gotta work for it. I gotta work for it. If I don't work for it, how am I gonna get it?
and, and maybe you're dropping another mountain, man. Another boulder, man. You have to make sure you're putting in the work to get anything out. Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's like how it says in scripture, in James. I know the Bible in Spanish, Santiago. If
Right,
you
right,
in like the work, faith without work, it's faith is dead,
right.
and it's true. You could have all the faith you want. If you don't work for it, it's dead.
Man, look at that. You know, Pete, it's almost like you have to be in a situation where you're pushing yourself. You have to actually believe to know it. Like, hey, what you're working towards. Like, all right, if I'm putting in the work, how do you even work when it comes to believing in what you can accomplish, even with dealing with them? And that'll talk to it, lead us into our bonus question.
All right, I'm gonna speak as if I didn't have MS.
No, okay.
Um, everyone, we all need to know we can achieve anything we want. We gotta work for it. We gotta work for it. Firstly, we gotta know we deserve it
Mm,
and work towards it.
mm.
With your self love, your confidence, your work ethic, it's all gonna come.
Dang, man, you really dropping it there, man. I mean, and I like the summary of it as well too. Just bringing that back in. Now for the bonus, I know we're not gonna have you in here too long. I know you got things, and you're busy, man. You're handling a lot of things, man. You already know I appreciate you 1,000%. Hold on, I appreciate you 1,000%. I don't want to keep you too long, but I had to get to this bonus because it deals with the MS on that end. Now, when I look at the question, it says, "How do you feel about dealing with MS?" Because that's a heavy hit, G. That's a heavy hit.
All right, I'm gonna be 100 with you. Yes, it's annoying. It's annoying more than anything. Is it hard? Things are as hard as you make them out to be.
Mm.
That's why I use the word annoying now. Now I use the word annoying. Is it annoying? Yes. But we still gotta deal with it. We still gotta go through it regardless. We still gotta go through it regardless.
Right.
So, do you want a frown on your face while you're dealing with it, or do you want to smile? And that is your choice. Everyone's choice. No matter what you're going through, you choose how to handle it. If with a frown or a smile.
Man, you're putting out the magic, man. You're putting out the magic and the realness of it, and I really appreciate you just bringing. I got a thousand questions. I always tell my clients, I got thousands of questions. I'm not gonna bore you with all of them, man. P, you've done more than enough for me, and this is really showing my own love and appreciation for you, P. I'm always speaking, about you and how you know really you help me bring out my best self as well too. Just even speaking on
It's
what you're speaking
7:30.
on, it's something that's very very powerful.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say it because I think you forgot what I was gonna tell you. I
Right,
think I think you forgot, but it's cool. It's cool. That's what I'm here for.
right, right.
I ain't shy now.
Come
Like
on.
I remember when my MS hit. I don't know like if it's part of what like my MS or whatever, but it was like around 15 years ago. I tried to take my life.
Come on, P. And bring it real.
Like, I tried to take my life, and now I know that some chick was not worth it.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's like nobody is worth myself or anyone trying to hurt themselves. No one is worth it. No one is worth it. That's where I wish I had my self love.
Right.
And I want to hear like whoever's here, whoever's listening,
Right, right,
whoever
right.
listens to this,
Yeah, now or later. Right,
you're
please.
you're more than your problems. You're
Mm,
more. You're more.
mm.
Remember, if you want to tell yourself, look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I love you for whatever reason. Only God and you know that reason. There are more reasons to love yourself than to hate yourself.
Come on, man. Come on.
The reasons to love yourself, you know them.
Come on, man.
And you need to remind yourself every day. Like every day before I go to sleep, I tell myself, I love myself, but I
Ooh,
love you more than all, Father. And
mm,
that I say that every night before I go to sleep.
man. P, you really that's a bomb. You know, I was saying you dropped the mountain for P. You dropped the bomb for the for the show, really, and I appreciate you bringing that in. You dropped the bomb really on the show, and that's something, P, that a lot of people on the planet, just in the country, are struggling with, man. So with you being freely to speak about that situation, is very, very powerful, man. And not only for the live, but with the saving later on now. Imagine somebody looking at this 3 years later and you actually saved their life, P, because they heard what you were saying.
Well, you don't like. Firstly, don't put me on blast like that. Don't put me on blast like that. But if I help even one person, believe me, I'm more than happy.
Man.
Believe me.
Mm.
Like, you know, like I may not know, but believe me when I say it.
Right.
I don't care if you tell me. I'm just glad you're okay. I don't need to know. I'm
Right.
just glad you're okay. I'm
And,
glad you're okay.
and that's very, very beautiful, because sometimes individuals need to hear that. Sometimes I'm speaking to individuals and sometimes it's not received. But it's like, dang, okay. But I can't receive anything for what Mr. Saylor's saying, but P can say, and it just melts right into the individual. So I'm appreciative. I'm appreciative on that part, P, and just even our journey and our friendship and our relationship as well too. You already know. I feel the world is ours, man. The world is really ours, and with us not only just exploring, but being able to do more, doing the things that we really want to do to bring us joy and excitement. And that's one of the most powerful things you spoke on. And Pete, anyone at any income level, I don't care if even with the homeless or you in a mansion, can you actually even tell yourself that you love it? You just, and just dropped a real bomb. And I'm not exaggerating. Pete, it's really that serious. I'm talking about children, Pete.
Yo, the kid. Man, when I see my Starbucks, I'ma tell her.
Please,
Like my
Pete,
love.
please.
Like my love. I'm be like, Dylan, my love. Shavi, come here.
Come on.
Like, come here. And then I'm gonna ask him, like, do you love yourself?
Come on. Come
Simple
on.
question.
Oh my gosh.
Like I want a real answer.
Man, this is it. This is it. I knew this would be powerful. I knew you would come and bring some power in. I knew it.
And like, man, like You deserve love. If
Mm.
you need to hear it a million times, I'll say it a million times. You
Right,
deserve love.
right,
And it might not be from a woman or whatever, but firstly, love yourself.
right.
And the rest will follow. The rest will follow.
You have to build onto that. You like that. I wanted to ask you before moving forward. I want to know, just as you move on toward, you were saying speaking in the mirror, telling yourself that you love you as well too. Now that's something before bed, or when you write, get up, or how many times are you when you write, get up, or how many times are you adding that in, or do you actually do that?
Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, that answer, I can't. Like, sometimes I'm looking at myself while I'm brushing my teeth,
Yeah.
and I'm saying it. Sometimes while I'm washing my hands, and like I look at myself, and and I tell myself, I can't give you an exact answer because I don't know.
Alright, it's all right. You man, I mean that's more than good. Man. That's more than good. Um,
Yeah, but like, to anyone that's listening,
Great sweet.
you all need to know it doesn't matter how many times you say it to yourself,
Right.
as long as you say it but you mean it.
That's it.
And even if you don't mean it, as you keep saying it, you're gonna believe it. Because as the saying goes, fake it till you make it.
Come on, dude.
And you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. And if you need to someone to tell you, you got Mr. Saylee right here.
Hey,
And if you need someone else, I'm here for you.
yeah, P, that's it. So many people need it. Imagine that so many people are alone. P. They don't have anyone that can share. They may have the finances, but they don't have the people. No one that can actually believe in them and say, "Man, I really care about what you got going on. Really care what you're doing in this life." It's something that is missing from this world, P. Now, I want to say this, P. You know, I begin charged and excited. What if you're the one to share with people, like, hey, man, you can actually not only love yourself, but if you're the one to bring that to individuals across the planet, P.
What if I'm doing that through you right
Boy,
now as we speak?
boy, P, look at that. Look at right there. Right there.
Sometimes the answer is at our grasp.
Right there.
Sometimes it is in this moment.
Mm, mm. Yeah, P, man.
And
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
we gotta take every moment. Like, it's like, you know, instead of doing this and doing that, why don't you take some time to tell yourself how much you love yourself, doing something you love to do?
Mm, mm. P, you right.
And man, it's because you're getting me hyped.
No, man, because you are hype, man. You are hype. You know, you coming in, you knew exactly what you were gonna do, and you exceeded my expectations. I'll be real for this show. You exceeded the expectations. I'm gonna say it like this, and you know I love me, P. But this right now has been the best show of Safe Space Saylee, and I've done a lot. But the thing
That
is,
D, you told me this is your first one. That's a little insulting to me.
no. You're the first guest. Now this was the first show. I think you're the first guest. No,
Either way, I don't care.
no, man.
you,
First,
you're my boy for the rest of life. I don't care.
hey, man, you do it, man. You know it, P. No, first guest. No, I'm not saying first show, but P, you know what's going on. But it feels like the first show. But it is the first guest out. So just I want you to think about the magnitude that you just brought for tonight's show. You brought your realness. You brought your authenticity, and you actually brought a way for children and adults. Let's say that my oldest client is 85. Let's say someone didn't really achieve their maximum value until listening to what you're saying. Like, dang, I spent 85 years not loving myself, and now I heard it. Now I can transition.
It's like I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what age you are.
Man,
It
come on.
doesn't truly matter.
Mm.
Once you get there, believe me, your world changes.
Ooh, Pete.
Believe me.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I just told you my experience from the past. There are two key moments in my life that have truly marked me. My baptism
Oh,
and realizing my self love.
man,
Those are the moments that truly marked me.
man. Mm. Oh, those are some very powerful moments, really, right there. Yeah. Then you got any? I'm probably gonna. There's no. I'll go out and close. But do you have any shout outs or any comments or concerns you want to send out to the world, Pete? Man, you're live. You're live and direct, and I will play this on YouTube as well. But do you have anything, any message you want to give to not only just yourself, maybe your future self, or just anyone out there in the world that may be listening or that may come across this a video later on down the line? Is there any message you have you want to relate?
Well, I'm gonna just say this. As when I used to be able to play, I'm gonna say this. What, like, when I used to play, I used to not think. I used to not think. And, that was probably my, how do I want to say it? My sports person, I don't know how to say it, but it was like an inner me. It was my competitive side
Uh-huh.
just moving. It was my competitive side just moving. But it's like when we used to score, there's one thing my friends and I would always say. We knew we were winning, but after every goal, it doesn't matter if we were winning 10-0. We always used to say 0-0. The game is just beginning.
Mm.
And that's a message for life. Even though you gotta win 0-0, you're just beginning.
Dang, man. Oh man. Oh man. You did that. You did that once again. Once again. Now I appreciate that. That is something for anyone to take. Just hearing this now, for me, I hold on to that in my heart, and just to continue on as well. Too. Pete, I appreciate you, Pete, just kind of being on the show, being the first guest ever for me. It'll always be in my heart. I can never forget this moment. I don't know how many times I'm gonna review this video, but I already know this is the start of forever. Like I said, the 0-0. This is the beginning of forever, and I really
Yeah,
appreciate you just trusting.
yeah. I really want everyone
You
to
see the
know.
light just flicker too. That was powerful.
Yo, I thought you hit the dimmer. Like,
No, no.
I was about to say, you want me to leave? All you gotta do is say so.
Pete,
But I really
that
do
was some
want everyone, like, don't count your losses, don't count your wins.
mm,
0-0. Take it one step at a time. 0-0.
yeah, yeah, I
Say
like
that to yourself and look at yourself in the mirror and know you deserve to be loved.
yeah, I like that
You
right there.
deserve it. And if you want to know where to get to home, you gotta get to Mr. Saylee first.
All right, man. We got the answers. I'm telling you, I got the answers here. There's so much more.
It's
That's gonna
7:45.
be given out. There's so much more that's gonna be given out. I appreciate that, P, and I thank you. I can't wait for you to have you up again on the next one. I will have I got a infinite amount of questions for you on that end. I can't wait. I know I can reach out to you with no issue. Like, hey man, P, I need you to be up on the show. I need this. I need that. Or I got this panel coming up. I know you're always open on that end too. And the thing I love about you, P, on that end, you're not afraid to tell me no on that end, and that's what I really love.
No,
Uh,
yeah, and honestly, this goes for everyone. You shouldn't be afraid to say yes or no. Don't be afraid of their response. Like, if you don't want to do it, it's fine to say no.
mm,
Like, it's fine. And if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. But don't be afraid of their response of that being your yes or no. Be true to yourself. If you
mm.
don't want to do it, don't do it. Don't let anyone pressure you into doing something.
Mm, Yee. Oh man, this is like I said, you exceeded my expectations on
I
this.
think you're lying, but it's okay.
Uh, you exceeded my expectations on this one, man, and I can't wait to post this. I'm already waiting for individuals because there's some individuals I know they're asleep. Maybe there are other areas. Maybe they can't get on. Whatever it is, you imagine there's some of the most powerful videos, Pete, that I've seen have been 10 years, maybe 20 years after the initial production or the creation of the video. So just imagine that dropping this information for individuals, whether they hear it, it can be next week, the end of this month, whatever. You've done such a powerful job, P, and I can't appreciate you more. And you spoke about how we met, and I just appreciate you and just extending that self love to the whole planet. P. You just really shared it for the whole world. So I appreciate you on that, MP. And I'm gonna close in a bit, man, P. But it was great having you on, man. And I really love it, P. And I love you on that, and I really appreciative of you as an individual.
Yeah, whatever you need, your boy is here for you. Whatever you need, and what if your viewers need something, they gotta get to you to get to me.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's real. That's real.
But whatever you guys need, and I'm saying it wholeheartedly. Like yes, I am like a 777-year-old man. I go to bed early, but if you guys need something, don't be afraid to shoot a message or get to my boy, and he gets to me. Don't worry about it. If I get an answer, I'm not afraid to give it to you.
Right stuff. Right stuff. All right, P. So I'm gonna close like this. I got a saying. Really, I close out. So it's called the Safe Space Saylee Show. The Safe Space Saylee Show. The Safe Space Saylee Show. Freedom. One thing, clarity. All right, man.
Oh, you
We
already
out.
know.
We out. We out. Just like that, we gone. AP,
We
I had
gone.
the vocals, boy.
Let's go.
All right, P, man.
All right, stay up.
All right, peace.